should introduce yourself, the teacher said. Nice to meet you all, Calypso greeted the class with courtesy. In this place, it was like the law of the jungle, whoever proved themselves best would naturally become the leader of the class. My name is Calypso Aquagital. I hope to meet your expectations. The teacher praised her for being so eloquent, but before he could say more, Karen stepped forward. Hey, is that your natural hair color? He asked with a mocking tone. Calypso had already expected him to come for her. She tilted her head. Who are you? How old are you? I'm Karen, 8 years old, and a direct descendant, he boasted. Calypso smirked. If you're really 8 years old, shouldn't you already be at the intermediate institution? If someone can't move on at the right age, what else would we call him but a fool? Without giving him a chance to speak, she continued, for reference, I'm 3 years old. Aren't you ashamed to be in the same class as a 3-year-old? As expected, Karen's face twisted in anger. That doesn't make sense. You shouldn't even be able to speak properly until you're 5. You dare to put me on the same level as you? Calypso shot back sharply. You inferior, defective runt. Karen roared and raised his hand to hit her. Before his strike could land, Calypso jumped into the air, easily dodging him. I guess I'll have to teach you some manners first, she said coldly, grabbed him by the shirt collar, and smashed her forehead against his headbutt. How dirty, he shouted, stumbling back. Have you considered my size and age? How is it dirty? Calypso replied arrogantly. She picked up some marbles from the ground, then crushed them in her small hand. I didn't want to resort to violence either, but I won't tolerate insults. The sound of cracking marbles echoed through the room, showing the difference in their strength. And you know, my dad told me not to go around getting beat up, she added proudly. The entire class, teachers included, was stunned. One teacher whispered to Layla, is it even possible to show that kind of strength without awakening the power of water? Layla stayed deep in thought. Karen might lack brains, but he excelled in raw strength. For Calypso to subdue him so easily, the rumors would spread without question. With this, Calypso had established herself as the class leader. Come on, everyone, take your seats. The teacher finally called out. A great whale needs to study hard. After classes, 2 students came rushing to her. They looked almost identical, twins. Lady, they called from afar, then bowed deeply in front of her. Greetings to the great lady, they said one after the other. You saved our class. One twin cried. You saved us. The other added. Karen always picked on us, and you destroyed him. You stopped him. Silver golden hair and eyes, Calypso's gaze sharpened. White beluga dolphins, known for their intelligence and sense of justice. What are your names? She asked. I'm Ruga. I'm Ruba. Together we're Ruga Ruba, they announced. Doobie Dooba, Calypso blinked. Ruga Ruba, they corrected in unison. Nice to meet you. Please look after me in the future. You're the first ones I've met who share a common name with me, she said warmly. She then recalled that her 3rd-grade teacher in a past life had also been a dolphin. The twins still buzzed with excitement. Mom said to be nice to people we meet for the first time. Ruga exclaimed. Dad said to be nice too. Ruba echoed. Mom said be nice. Ruba repeated again. What's wrong with them all of a sudden? Calypso thought. When they reached the stairs, Ruga asked, Lady, isn't using the stairs hard? Are you strong enough? Ruba added. No, I've never found it hard. Before she could finish, the twins lifted her onto their shoulders. Ah, Calypso yelped. We'll help out. Dolphin Eyes College. They dashed down the stairs at incredible speed, carrying her straight to her carriage. Calypso, though surprised at first, ended up enjoying it. She felt proud too. Seems like I've gained some cute underlings. When she returned home, she saw several new maids and servants she had never seen before, all bowing at her arrival. What's going on? She asked. These people have been assigned to you for a more comfortable stay, her butler explained. Then I'll choose my personal attendant myself, Calypso said firmly. Misa, she was the only one who treated me well from the start. Especially when it came to making sure I had meals, she said, looking at the butler. Meals, you mean? The butler was confused. Yeah, don't they do that in the main house? Here it's common for the staff not to give proper meals, she said with a smile. Lady, that's because only the strong survive, the butler replied. I know it's the rule of the killer whale family. But enduring scalding hot baths to the point of burns, is that also a rule of the killer whale family? She glanced at him sharply. I don't think neglect and abuse towards children are trials that need to be overcome. The butler was shocked. So these things happened here. She added sweetly, that's why I'm going to tell Dad about all this. Pierre, you mean? The butler looked frightened. Dad is very curious about me, you see, she said calmly. Lady Calypso, if you allow it, I will conduct a thorough investigation of the staff here, he said, worried that if they didn't act, it would end in disaster. Fine by me. Other kids might have been affected too, so I'll make sure to let Dad know as well. The butler almost had tears in his eyes. Yes, please take care of it. Then, with Misa, she went back to her residence. The next day, she was looking at a book about dolphins. I remember now. In my previous life the white dolphin family was annihilated. It was a massacre. The culprit was Bayan, my uncle's son. Just because they annoyed him. She didn't want to gather talent for war since she was going to leave anyway. Her thoughts were interrupted by 3 loud maids who admired her cuteness. They were from the Herring family, Aya, Bio, and Didi, and quickly became her fans. They commented on how well she spoke, unlike her older brothers Bellis and Adlan. After chatting a bit, she hurried off to see her father. A few days later, everything was going well except one thing: Pierre's training was still as ridiculous as before. Today, she had to do his laundry. Is this really training? She shouted at Pierre. How many times do I have to tell you to understand? Step on it, that damn father of mine. She grumbled. Her training was getting more and more absurd. Looking at the pile of clothes, she wondered who even said Pierre liked cleanliness, since there was a year's worth of clothes to wash. Master, how do I rinse this? She asked. You still can't summon water. He countered. But I took down an 8-year-old, you know, she said proudly. If you can't even do that, you're not worthy of being a father, he replied, unimpressed. Annoyed, she shot back, that's why I really don't want to talk to true geniuses. Believe it or not, I was really popular in my class. She added. You, looks like the standard of killer whale children has dropped quite low recently, he said coldly. His remark made her remember her brother's words. Now she finally understood why her brother said their dad was hopeless. She chuckled. Even while complaining, Calypso kept doing the laundry. It's hard to step on it properly. What should I do, master? She asked. Where are you planning to use your strength? Pierre reminded her. She applied a bit more weight, and it perfectly compensated for her small body. Just like you said, master, you're truly the best. Calypso giggled to herself. He must know that he's my father, she thought. He had always received attention all his life, but he was never really interested in anything. Pierre noticed Calypso giggling alone and got a flashback of his wife. How about a bet, prince of the Orca family? A lady had once said to him. Someday, you will be caught off guard by someone just like you. He had long forgotten those words, until now. Master, did you come down because I'm not finished yet? Calypso asked. Looking at the many clothes hanging out to dry, she proudly said, I did all this. I'm really amazing, right? Not really. This isn't that hard. Cheekily, she added, I wonder whose daughter is so impressive like this. Whose daughter? Pierre asked. Of course, I'm Dad's daughter, she replied cheerfully. He was stunned. A person who never once showed up when you were rolling around as a 3-year-old. But before he could finish, she cut in. Did you even realize you were being pushed around? He spoke again. The more I think about it, your intelligence is not bad at all. That calmed her down a bit and even made her happy. Of course, I'm a student taught directly by the master. Pierre frowned. You don't need to talk about me every time you open your mouth. Before she could reply, she noticed Pierre making that same face again, the one that looked uninterested in everything. Why does master live alone? She asked. Do you hate being around people? Pierre didn't have an easy past. Even though he was the strongest, his power was a burden on his body, leaving him sick. He was always at the center of attention and gossip. Well, it's easier without bothersome people around, he replied. She couldn't hold herself back this time. Is that why you look so indifferent? Like someone ready to disappear at any moment? Pierre was silent for a while, then said, well, that's not entirely wrong. Calypso grew angry. She hit him hard on the leg, startling him. How can you say something like that so easily? Some people have had to live such hard lives. Don't say things like that in front of a bright 3-year-old. Are you crazy? She kept hitting him with her tiny fists. Does he even know? The future he's hoping for is exactly what a time regressor like me wants. This won't do, she said firmly. Master is living too passively. You need to learn the beauty of life. Pierre was dumbstruck. What? Looking up at him eagerly, she said, Master, you're training me, right? So let's be business partners. Pierre stared at her. Your choice of words is really confusing. Just trust me, she said confidently. I'll show you how enjoyable life can be. She left after offering her proposal, but Pierre's eyes remained fixed on her. He remembered reports from the past few days. Lord Pierre, you might not know this, but recently your daughter has been going around bragging about how much you love her. That's just a rumor, right? He wondered what benefit she gained by spreading such rumors. Master, what are you doing? You're so slow, she called back to him. He just looked at her. She never makes a mistake with titles. The next day, she was playing with Ruga and Ruba. They asked if Calypso would play hide and seek, but she refused. Ruga then said, Lady, my mom wants to meet you. She wants to thank you because Karen always picked on us. Then should I hit him more? Calypso said cheerfully. They both laughed. Lady, we will be loyal to you forever. Seeing their happy faces, Calypso asked, have you ever cooked fish? Do you know how to make it? We have cooked, Ruba said. My dad is really good at it, Ruga added. Then let's ask your dad, since he's good at cooking, Calypso replied.